Hello and welcome everybody to the latest installment in... Water sang so deep the waters. Hello and welcome everybody to the latest installment in A Murder of Crows. Our heroines have broken into Rennick's manor house and have unseated the troll in residence and released the rat stretcher and released all of the rats that he had held captive, and together with their mouse fae friend Ruto, they have taken a short rest and are now going to explore the downstairs, because they've been informed by the rats that there is a downstairs. If they go from where they are to the east, they will come to a staircase which will lead them to the basement of the building. So you've taken a short rest. Also, everybody has leveled. So everybody's now level 4. We should have leveled before, but I completely forgot about this. But not to worry, that didn't really cause any problems just yet. But considering what's going to happen, I believe that it might be a good idea for everybody to have
a short rest.
Yeah, and also to have leveled. So everybody's now level 4.
Tiny bit less squishy. Not many hit points more, but a little bit more.
Exactly. And everybody was able to increase their stats by 2 or take a feat or get 1 plus 2 or 2 plus 1. And you also got a couple of new spells, didn't you?
I did.
Okay, then we're going to continue. So essentially, you can go to the west, to the east. There's a little door which you can open, and then you will see that there's a stairwell going down.
Okay.
So, do you want to do anything, or do you just go down?
After we rested, sorted ourselves, I think we will just go down. Carefully listening if we hear anything down the stairs.
Yeah. Okay. So make a perception check for me, please. If you hear anything.
Perception. Oh God. Another character that is not very...
Not very perceptive?
My rogue heart is bleeding.
It's yeah, I know, it's terrifying. What did you roll?
Whooping 6.
Okay, you hear nothing. Let's see if maybe Min hears something. Oh, well, yeah, no. She rolled a 5 and she doesn't have that higher stat either, so yeah, that's an 8. You hear nothing. It's totally safe. You walk down the stairs.
Yes.
The stairs are quite slippery, and they also are very steep, and they lead you down, 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 and about, you would say, 30 feet down into the ground. So that's pretty deep. And as you go further and further down, you begin to smell a very sickly sweet stench. The sickly sweet stench of decay. Did something die down here?
I think Lyra at least would be like, we should be quiet. And she will try
make
to
a stealth. Make a stealth check. Oh God, Min is so good at stealthing, but with these rolls,
well,
yeah, it's 9.
14 is okay-ish for Lyra.
You are super stealthy. Min, not so much. She walks into a wall. She makes a lot of ruckus because she rolled a 9 in total.
Oh, man.
She didn't even hit the 10. You arrive in the... you basically arrive in the chamber, and it's kind of like 10 feet by 15 feet. And across from where you are and where you came down the stairs, you see a door, and then there's also a corridor leading to your right. And you also see a dead body.
That's not good.
You can make a medicine check to see if you know anything more than just the fact that they're dead.
I will do that. One question just. Min is not wearing armor, right? Or is she wearing armor? Okay.
No.
So I think, nevertheless, Lyra would, just bypassing Min, would just put her hand on her shoulder, and Min will get mage armor. For the next 8 hours, she has a plus... 13 plus its dex. Oh, it's a question if it makes any sense. What's her dex at the moment?
Her dex, you mean that's
mod?
4. She is already at 17.
Okay, then forget it. Then mage armor is a complete useless spell for her. That's good to know.
But you can use it on yourself, can't you?
Mage armor. I'm not sure if this is the new or if it has always been like that.
Because everybody casts this on themselves all the time.
You touch a willing creature who isn't wearing armor.
Are you wearing armor?
Yeah, I'm obviously wearing armor.
Well, okay, I didn't know because obviously the mages don't, so they basically just put their hands on their own shoulders and give themselves mage armor.
But for my character, it doesn't make any sense because although my mage armor would be higher in AC. That's interesting.
I mean, what we can say is, if you like, you can cast it on yourself, but it's not cumulative with the armor you already have, but it would be... So basically, it would be 10 plus your... How does it work?
It's 13 plus your dex when you do mage armor.
And what is your dex?
My dex is plus 2.
So it would be 15.
And I've definitely done that because my AC is 15 at the moment and it should be 13 because I can't... Ignore that I casted that and I will put my AC to where it belongs.
So what is your AC now? So you are not using mage armor? Oh, okay.
I'm not using I will go with the armor that I'm wearing. Means I casted it wrongly.
Well, then we just say you didn't cast it because you would have figured this out beforehand.
Yeah. Then not that, but I will do medicine and check on the body.
Please do.
With a 2, it's dead?
Yeah, it's dead. Do you want to do it?
Can I at least see what kind of... Is it a human or
investigation
elf
check?
At least having an idea on that. That's a 12.
Well, it is a human. That's all you can tell. But what you can see is that they wrote something on the wall. Maybe not while they were dying, maybe differently, maybe before then. But what they wrote was, when one door closes, another opens.
One door closes, another opens. Okay. Let's keep on walking.
Okay, so you have 2 ways you can go. You can either try the door that is right in front of you, or you can go south where there is a corridor leading into the darkness.
Did we go through an open door?
No, you haven't come through a door yet.
Okay. One door opens. She will do... like eeny, meeny, miny, moo. Let's see. If I roll 1 or 3, it will be the door in front of us. If not, it will be down. It's a 1, so we will go, or try to go through the door in front of us, like looking if we can open it.
The door opens,
Okay.
and you come to a landing. And basically you step inside, so it's a 5-foot square, if you know what I mean. So you can easily fit the two of you there, but you are standing in front of a wall, and to the right and your left are 2 sets of stairs. And you can either go south and take the stairs, or you can go north and take the stairs. They both lead down. Not very far, maybe like, I don't know, maybe 5-6 steps. It's by no means the same
Lyra
depth that you just climb down.
would be curiously closing the door behind us and see if anything happens.
Make a perception check. And Min
13.
Min rolled a 14 plus 3, that's a 17. And you rolled a 13? Okay. Min, you didn't hear anything, but Min tells you that she's pretty sure that she heard a clicking noise from the door behind you, which you did hear as well, but you also heard clicking noises from further into the dungeon, to the north and to the south.
Okay, we will go again with a roll. If it's a 1 or a 3, we go left. If it's a 2 or 4, we go right. It's a 2, we go to the right.
Okay. Okay, as you step onto the stairs, they actually turn into a slide. Make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Ooh. Dex save. A natural 20. 22.
I'm impressed. Wow. That
Surfing.
is... I was just going to say, you're surfing. Whereas our super dexterous young lady fails completely. You sail past her. She rolls head over heels and she takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage.
Oh boy.
2 and 1d6 piercing. 8 in total. That hurt. Oh my god. It's not good. She's got 18 hit points left. Okay, the two of you have arrived. Basically, you really elegantly, she not so much. She's also now really dirty. It's a good thing she's not wearing armor. And basically, you know, like, basically, she smashed into the wall at the bottom of the stairs. To your left, as you're basically, the stairs are behind you, you're facing a wall, and to your left is a door.
Shall we try the door? Min, what do you think?
She dusts herself off. Yes.
Okay. We will try the door to see if it opens.
You open the door. Before you is a really large. Well, is it large? There's a room, and you can see that I was telling you already that it's basically the whole place is sinking into the mire, into the quagmire. So here, obviously, you can tell that some of this has already broken through, and there is water coming into the room into this cellar from below the house. So parts of this are being submerged already. So basically, you can walk inside. There's a small alcove to your right, so basically in the south, and to the north, you see a larger chamber, and you also see iron bars. that are closing 2 doorways to your east.
Again,
So is that-
what? Iron
Essentially,
bars closing 2 doors?
I'm going to show you the map. So basically, you are here.
Yeah.
You came down here. You're standing here. This is the submerged part. And here is iron bars that are closing off this part. There are iron bars that are closing off this part. You can see through them, obviously. If you went closer and basically just wielded your torch a little bit, you could see stuff. And then here to the north is a huge place.
I think I would go to one of the iron bar thingies and would basically try to peek through and see what is there.
There is. It's also completely what you call it, submerged at this stage, and there is a little bit of a raised platform there, but you can't really make out that much because obviously it's also quite dark. So the room is quite big, or the cavern is quite big. So you would have to go in to see more.
How far away is the raised platform? Oh, ignore it. No, ignore it. What I want to do, I can't because I need to touch it, and I can't touch it because there are bars between us.
But it's about 15 feet. But to the north you could easily go through because there is just basically a gap in the wall. There's a doorway without a door, without bars. It's just a gate.
Before we do that, can we have a peek in the room we are now, if there is anything like a lever or anything that looks like it could raise the bars?
Make an investigation check.
Ooh, 23.
You find nothing.
Then let's go north. So we carefully walk over to the next room.
And there you can actually see an ancient crank that's shimmering in your torchlight.
Going around the room with the light on. Anything else?
Make a perception check, please. Or alternatively, investigation, if that's better for you.
It's much better.
Then please use investigation.
Oh, that is a natural 20, so 24.
Okay. You see something really weird as you're walking around with your torch. Because you walk past this vestibule where the crank is. And suddenly you realize that as you are looking at it in your torchlight, it's kind of almost like it's moving, and you realize that there is something in front of it. Give me a roll, give me a 20, and then we'll see what you could use this for.
Well, if it's magical, it's a question if Arcana would be an option.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, Arcana sounds good to me.
Then I would do Arcana. Oh! Roll 20 is making up.
I was just going to say, it's making up for
games.
all the past games in this week where you really sucked. You know exactly what this is because you've seen it before. This is a gelatinous cube, and it's guarding that crank. It's sitting there, and basically it's like... the only reason why you saw it was because it kind of reflected a little bit of your torchlight.
I don't think I ever rolled a double natural 20 and rolled 20. That's insane.
Yeah.
It will go down from here on out because it can't get better. I would whisper to Min and to Rotu. Rotu's with us, right?
Ruto is with you, yes.
Okay. So, there's a gelatinous cube right there.
Okay, let's see if she knows anything. Oh, no, 2. She knows nothing. A what?
It's like a jelly cube, very big. Probably will eat our butts if we're not careful. It's right in front of the crank.
She takes a look.
Can I throw a piece of bread towards the jelly?
Yeah, please
thingy?
do. But on a 19 plus her perception, she can actually see it. It's a 22 combined. And she makes it out and she's like, what does it do?
I think it's guarding.
Okay, so how do we get it to move? Can we talk to it?
Well, I could try one thing. Let me try. Let me, first of all, read and then try. The crank is within 30 feet of us, right?
Yeah.
Lyra would try to conjure Mage Hand, which is a thing she hasn't done before, so it would be new for Min. But you can see like a spectral, see-through hand, and it would plop up above the crank, and she would try to move the Mage Hand towards the crank to get it moving.
Okay.
I can move things that is max 10 pounds. I'm not sure how heavy the crank is, but I would at least try with the Mage
I
Hand.
think this is such a good idea that I would say yes, it is doable. The question that I have is how big is that hand?
They don't specify.
Okay, then I will say that there is enough, because obviously the gelatinous cube, if it had engulfed the crank, it would have devoured the crank, because that's what they do. They basically get rid of, they metabolize metal as well. So it's sitting in front of it. So there's enough space that the hand can go in behind it and start. The question, do gelatinous cubes actually, I mean, they must somehow perceive their environment.
Yes, they are. They can definitely perceive. Because they can move towards you.
It's got blind side 60 feet. Beyond that 60 feet, it's blind, so it can see. Other creatures can enter the space, but a creature that does so is subjected to the cube's engulf and has disadvantage. Okay, well, it's not a creature and it didn't really enter its space. A creature within 5 feet of the cube can take an action to pull a creature or object out of the cube. That's what you're trying essentially to do.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, then can I ask you to... does this mage hand have some kind of stats?
No.
It
can't attack. It can't...
Does it have strength?
No. Well, the only thing, it has no stats. The only thing it says, it can carry max of 10 pounds.
Okay, so what I would say is...
pull a lever for you or things like that.
Then I would say, please roll a d10. No, roll a d20. Roll a d10.
An 11.
Okay, because here it says to pull something out of the cube is a DC 12 strength check. With an 11... plus its ability to lift 10, it basically manages the 12. And it starts moving the crank. So it's basically starting to turn it.
Lyra would then also whispering, "Good cube, don't attack us. We're not here to anger you. Be a good cube.
Let's
good boy."
See. Can you make a persuade check?
I can try. Oh, persuasion is a 19.
Okay, it's got a wisdom of 6. Oh, easy. Well, I rolled really well, 15, but minus 2 is a 13. You've really you don't know how you're doing this, but it's basically letting this happen. And there are now 2 sets of bars that you can hear that are being moved, that are being, I guess, raised in that case. One to your left and one to your right. And after a while, they are completely raised and the hand stops because the crank has basically been cranked to its highest level. So what do you want to do? Do you want to go left or right?
Let's have a peek left. So the bars that raised are not the ones in the room beforehand?
No.
Okay.
You go left, and you can see in the darkness, in the torchlight, you see a huge creature, kind of like really bloated. It looks dead, but it moves, and it has like several arms. At least you can make out 3 heads. And it begins to sniff.
We should leave, Min. We should leave.
Okay.
Not sure if we have the chance to leave, but Lyra would like slowly do step backwards towards the door again.
Then make a stealth check. That's what I'm talking about, darling.
Dirty 20.
Okay. And she rolled a 23 as well. So, okay. Let's see what it does. On an 11. Yeah, it doesn't, it keeps sniffing. You can hear it and you can hear it move, but it doesn't seem to be following you. What do you want to do?
We'll step outside and try the right door.
You see glittering in your torchlight. You see gold jewelry piled up in this chamber.
Why don't I believe it is safe, Min?
You can also now make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh God. That is a whooping 8.
Okay, that's not good. And she had a 13. Okay. You suddenly feel a sense of incredible loss and sadness wash over you. So much so that you almost drop your torch. It's like, and it's like this, it's like a cold heart is closing over a cold hand is closing over your heart and is squeezing it really tight. It's like whatever you have ever in your life held dear is gone. There is no more happiness ever to be had again. It's the end of the world. What do you do?
I will probably just freeze and stare.
Okay. What is it? Don't drop that torch.
Oh, she has a lantern, but she's probably put it on the floor.
Okay.
Oh, but it makes no sense what we are doing here. Why?
What
There's
do you mean
no
it
way
makes no
home.
sense?
We are totally lost.
What do you mean? What do you mean? We need... You don't know that there's no way home. It's what you're assuming. We got here and you were told by your Patreon that you need to fulfill a task. That's number one. Number two, you've just found out that your mother is somewhere out there and she needs your help. And suddenly you're saying there's no way out. What's going on?
Well, my mother was neither there for me, and my master, well, also not helpful, eh? So we are alone.
Yes,
No
at
help.
the moment, but I mean, we've got Ruto, and Ruto basically stands in front of you. He's now got a
Lyra
rapier.
will plonk herself on the butt and just sit there slumping down and starting to sniff.
Ruto walks up to you. He's not very tall, but he looks very dapper now because he's got, he's now got his leather armor on, and he's got a little rapier, and and a little crossbow by his side, and he basically knocks on your knee, and he says, "When I'm sad, I always eat cheese. Do you have cheese on you?"
No, just bread.
Bread's
Pale,
good too.
Stupid bread.
He rummages through his pocket and he brings out a little bit of cheese. Like, it's very small. He's only 20 centimeters tall, and he offers it to you.
I don't think in this mood Lyra would take it.
They look a little bit at a loss, and they look at Lyra, at Min, and they say, when I'm sad, eating helps. It doesn't help with her. Should I sing to her? And Min is like, shh, we want to be really quiet because, there's this gelatinous cube, and then one room over, there's this big fella. Let's not draw attention to ourselves. Okay. Suddenly, Min changes her behavior completely. She even seems to look slightly different. Now, don't be alarmed. I know that we have never really met. I'm Shaddai.
Hi.
I can tell that you're upset.
No, not upset. Just tired. And, well, nothing makes sense anymore. Why am I
Nothing-
even doing magic? I'm really bad at it.
What do you mean you're bad at it? You created that hand, I saw it, and it worked. What do you mean basically, this person, Shaddai, sits down in front of you. And she says, when Min is sad, and she sometimes is because of all of this stuff that happened with her family and how she cannot read any thoughts, I keep telling her, you know what, it's not that bad. I can't read any thoughts either, and I should be able to do so too. Do you see me cry? No, you don't see me cry. It never works on her, so I'm not even going to try it on you. Okay, so listen. I believe that there is something really weird going on, because this feeling came over you like so. It may be this place. Something happened here. I can tell. I'm a little more awake to these things than Min, possibly because I'm a spirit and she's not. I think that there is something weird going on here. And if I may make a suggestion, you don't have to take me up on it, but maybe you should get up and move away from this room. Just saying. Oh, she rolled an 18 on persuasion.
I just rolled for myself. Wisdom is high, so she will just take a deep breath and will very slowly stand up as if the world is on her shoulders, basically, and then go back to the next room. And she would drag her feet.
You want
I'm
to go
missing-
back to where Okay, because there is also another way. You can go south and there's also a door. Or you can go back through the bars to where the
She would go back
gelatinous
to the
cube was.
bars. Back to the bars.
And into the room with a gelatinous cube.
Yep. And she would not be stealthy. She would drag her feet like the stupidest teenager who cannot get their feet up off the floor. Do I feel any different?
You do. So, how is that going for you?
Much better. Thank you, Shirai.
Toodles! And Min is back and she says, I'm sorry, that doesn't...
No,
I didn't see that
she
coming.
was really nice and helpful.
Yeah, she can be quite annoying.
But she was not. I feel much better now.
I heard what she said. It's the other room.
I think so. Still, the question is if in that room we find what we are searching for. You did not feel it?
No, I felt fine. I mean, I didn't really get to look a lot at the room because there was all this glittering going on and I saw all the gold. I would have really liked to look at the walls because I felt that there was a kind of... I saw words inscribed, but I would have had to look closer, but I couldn't because you were down.
Let's try again. We can do this. I'm not getting by a stupid room. And Lyra
She takes
will
you
turn
by the
around.
hand and would hold onto your hand if you let her.
Yes, I will let her.
So you go back in.
Yeah, I will
Wisdom
stump
saves?
over to the other room.
What did you
No,
roll?
a 4.
Okay, but you do get advantage because she's holding your hand. So that's
Okay,
that
then
looks
it's
like
a natural 20. Then it's a 22.
Yeah. Let's see how she's doing.
So I'm drifting off.
Oh
She's
God,
not
she
doing
had
well.
a natural one.
Does she get advantage because I hold her hand? It's not making
Yeah, but
it
it's
better.
still a 5. Now she's like, however, she has the skill she can meditate. So she's just gonna take a deep breath. And she's gonna use lucky.
You got this. Squishing her hand. Wait, can I give her anything?
Now she rolled
No,
a
I
16.
can't. Okay.
Yeah, so including everything. So, you are in that room, and so now you can, and she basically points to where she thought she saw writing. And you can see it too, it's written in common,
Yeah.
and the script is super flowery. Somebody really almost did calligraphy here. And it reads, one's most prized possession, offered, secured, desired, returned. I'm going to put this in the chat.
That would be lovely.
Do you want it in roll 20 in the chat?
Wherever you like. I don't
Okay.
care.
I'm gonna
Both
put it
chats are
here.
fine.
Yeah.
Desired return.
And it's basically written above a little inset in the wall that's maybe like this big. It kind of is like, you know, one of those in banks when people have vaults where you have like those security boxes. So it's almost like you can put something in there, only there's no safe there, there's no box there. But it does, when you look at it, you actually feel that it is made of metal on the inside.
Okay. I would like to throw in... I will do detect magic. So, Lyra will focus. She wants to have a look around between the gold and the shimmery things and everything there, if there is magic. Because she suspects the artifact that we are looking for must be kind of kind of magical, powerful thing. She hopes the gold here is not magical, but we will see if she's not blinded by magical things.
Okay, you can see that this is definitely magical, and only this compartment is, and it is abjuration magic, so basically protecting stuff. It would be like alarm, protection from evil and good, arcane lock, glyph of warding, that kind of magic.
All of this is protected. I see the magic, Min.
Well, it's just the compartment that is protected,
just
not
the
the rest of the
compartment.
room.
Okay.
Just this little thing is, well, maybe not protected, but you would say that something in there would be protected if you put it in there.
I think we need to move on. It's not here.
Don't you think that maybe the words above it mean something?
But I have nothing to put in there. I have nothing of value.
Well, one's most prized possession is what you consider most prized for yourself. It doesn't have to be valuable for anyone else.
Well, technically you are my most prized. Well, I'm not possessing you, but everything I have on me is worth nothing.
You have nothing on you that you care about?
Well, my book, but I'm not giving that away.
But it says that it will be returned.
Yeah, and if not, I can do no magic. No. We don't know what will be returned. It might be something completely different.
One's most prized possession offered, secured, desired, returned. She takes the cat trinket that she has, which you got from the, and she puts it in there.
Okay.
And it basically vanishes. And is your magic ability, is your seeing magic still thing on? It's on for 10 minutes.
It's for 10 minutes. Yeah.
And basically you can see that abjuration magic has been. It's. Make an Arcana check, please, for me.
Okay. Arcana 19.
Okay. You've seen this kind of exactly the same signature once before in your life. Because the person you lived with had something which he called a bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever he put something in, that was exactly what you saw.
Okay. Well, we would just stare at the hole in the wall.
Are you not going to say anything?
What should we say?
Well, will you tell her about the bag of holding and what you just saw? She doesn't know.
Well, I think for Lyra, she would just... She would wait for a while, because at the moment she suspects it should show up again.
Nothing happens.
Maybe put your hand in there and think of the token, trinket thingy.
She puts her hand in it. She looks at you skeptically, but she does.
You put in.
She, all right,
Oh,
I put in my cat trinket.
What else you want to have, maybe? Maybe it will give you something else that is better. Think of something you want. Really want, please. Not like a want to cookie.
I would really like it back.
Then think of it.
She does. She puts her hand in and it appears in her hand. She withdraws the hand, looks at the token, trinket. It looks exactly the same. She puts it around her neck again, and at that moment you hear a noise to the east, and you see a hidden door opening in the wall.
Well, let's try and see. Lyra will just look into the door, basically in the hole of the door, and be like, at least trying to look what is behind that. She's not sure to step through, but she wants to at least look what she can see looking through. She's basically standing in the doorframe.
Well, first of all, you see that this is a tomb.
Okay.
And it's almost like a stone casket that's standing there with a stone slab covering it, and above it you see a beautiful dark green emerald floating in mid-air. It's easily as big as two of your fists put together.
Does my detect magic tell me anything? Depends if it's within 30 feet of me. If not, I would walk towards it, that I can get within the 30
You can
feet.
do this, yes. What does detect magic actually do? Does it also detect ghosts and stuff? Are ghosts magical?
I can see a faint aura around any visible creature or object that bears magic.
That bears magic, okay.
So her main question is if the stone has magical aura, if it's magical or not. A ghost per se is not magical.
Okay. Well, the stone is magical, but you have no idea what kind of magic. It's very strange. But it's not the kind of magic that you would expect to see from something that's floating. So it's not it's not evocation, for example.
Okay.
Or no, sorry, conjuration maybe, don't know, but it's definitely not anything like a teleport spell or something like that, or levitate. So it's being held up by something, but it's not held up by magic.
I would get my mage hand out again and would carefully poke the stone and see what happened.
It won't be poked. It keeps floating, but as the hand touches it, you suddenly see something come into full view, and you see a wraith. And it looks at you. And it says, "Who are you to disturb my eternal slumber?"
Sorry, we didn't want to disturb you. We are just here to find a special thing that could help the world.
Like what?
I'm not sure. It might be. She's pointing towards the floating stone. Maybe that. I'm not sure.
And he basically holds this thing dearly to his incorporeal chest and says, "You shall not have it. This is the only thing that I have. I killed my family for it. They were trying to steal it. Everybody's just trying to steal from me. And now you are here as well."
You know, that sounds quite paranoid, right? Maybe you just need a good time and a relaxed talk.
Make a persuade check.
Nope. With an 8. Speaking, nope.
Okay. Who are you to challenge me? Roll initiative.
Oh, God. 11.
Okay. So, Lynn has an 11. He's got a 13. So that's the Wraith. Then we have got Min. And Min has an initiative of 12. And lastly, Ruto. Because Ruto is here as well. Ruto. Oh. Ruto has a natural 20.
Well, one is motivated in this group. Like, hiya.
I hope you are still motivated.
Well, she's like, I didn't want to have a fight.
Well, he actually whips out his short bow. Well, did I say it's a short bow actually?
Mm-hmm.
And he attacks. But on a 3, he doesn't hit.
Oh.
It's the Wraith. The Wraith. 1 to 2, it's you. 3 to 4, it's Min. On a 3, he basically tries to attack Min. Now let's see if there's anything he can do to her. He basically floats, or whatever you want to call it, towards her. And he tries to hit her. And on a 22, he does. And he does 9 points of necrotic damage. Okay. That's not good. And now she needs to do a constitution saving throw. Oh God, this is gonna go so badly.
I didn't want to click that, ignore it. Misclicked.
Oh, that's fine, but she rolled a 20. Okay.
Yay!
Okay, that wasn't too bad then. Well, it's still bad, but not as bad. And she's now going to attack him. And she is going to use... Oh, yeah. No, okay, she would have done that as well. When you do so, you can regain all spent focus points, which she is going to do. That is the one thing that we talked about, which was so weird, where we basically say she can only do this once per long rest. And then she gets to roll her martial art die, which is a D6. And she received 3 of her hit points back, which wasn't too bad. Okay, so now she's going to try and attack him. Number 1, she's gonna do an unarmed strike. That's her action. And on an 18, she hits. And that is 6 damage. Okay. So now she is going to expend one of her focus points, which means that she can do Flurry of Blows as a bonus action to make 2 unarmed strikes. Okay. Whoop. That's not a hit. And that is a hit, just about. And another 6. Okay. It's your turn.
I will try something which is called suggestion. Not sure if it can be charmed. If not, it will take no hold. But Lyra would be like, "We're friends. Just give us the stone, and all will be fine." And if he can be charmed, he needs to make a wisdom save.
Doesn't say that he can't. Roll a
Against
d20,
14.
please.
A d20. Okay. 19.
Okay, 19 plus 2 is 21, so he is not charmed.
Okay.
It's Ruto's turn again. Ruto has decided, to hell with all that. He's going all in. He's gonna... He's gonna cast a spell. And you see that there is a little bit of a... almost a flame that is coming from his hands, and it's hitting this thing in the brain, in the face. Let's see. And on a 9, that is not a success. And he deals 2 points of damage. Okay, the Wraith is going to attack again, and he's going to attack Min again because Min is doing the most damage. And on an 8, he basically does not. On a 9, he does not hit. So now it's Min again. Just going to try and attack. 18 hits. 8 points of damage. 2 more. 18 hits. 12 does not. 7. Your turn.
She will use the ring to produce a ram's head that goes for it. Let's see. Break. No, I don't want to break an object. A 15 to hit.
Yes.
11 force damage.
Ooh. Okay. That hurt. Ruto is going to attack.
Oh, wait.
With... Yes?
Wait. As
Doesn't
a
he get
bonus.
pushed back? Okay.
He would be pushed back by 5 feet. And as a bonus...
So actually, sorry. If he's pushed back, do people get an attack of opportunity?
I guess so. But I'm not 100% sure.
Because, I mean, yes, but if you're pushing somebody, they're moving out of their...
It would be out of combat range.
So at least she's getting 1. And on an 18, it does work. And it's 1d6 plus 4 bludgeoning. 10 points of damage. Okay. But you also wanted to do something else?
As a bonus action, she turns to darkness again. shadows creep around her, or basically gray-black smoke creeps around her. Her halfway, not really pretty wings are showing up. Because that is a bonus action. So he needs to do a charisma saving throw.
Or
If he can be
otherwise-
frightened. Or
Okay, let me
if
see.
he fails, he will be frightened. If he can be. It might be that he can't.
He can't. Actually,
Can
he
he?
actually would have been immune to charmed now, I see it, but that was okay because you basically... But he can't be... He can be frightened.
Okay, then make a charisma save against... against what?
14.
Okay.
Against 14, because that's your...
Against spell save DC, yeah.
Yeah, 14.
Against 14.
If he hits
So
14, then he's not frightened.
Correct.
Or does he have to roll
No.
over?
No.
He just needs to meet it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but he's been pushed back. So that was your turn. And now it's Ruto again. And Ruto is going to try and get him to do an intelligence save on a 13. That doesn't look so bad. Let me look how Ruto is doing.
And I would have made sure that I'm having 10 feet between me and the others. Because Ruto and Min are directly in the face of the wraith, right? Then I would make sure that I have the 10 feet distance, that they are not having to roll the charisma save. Because I learned my lesson that I'm scaring Min if I do that.
The target must succeed on an intelligence saving throw. It failed the last turn, and subtract 1d4 from the next saving throw.
That's interesting.
So that's then 11, that's 12. So that is actually successful. So he does a 1d6 damage again. 2. Still. The Wraith is... Sorry, what you were saying you're not going to be standing so that she can see you.
Well, she can see me, but I need to have at least 15 feet distance to her,
Okay.
so she doesn't have to roll. But everything I do is on at least 30 feet distance anyhow, so I can stand back as far as I can. I hope so.
He's going to try and attack Min again. Oh, on a 19 he does.
This is good.
And he does... Actually, a lot of damage. Um, $16. She is down.
Okay. Not good.
Which also means she can't do the save. Okay. Then the question is... Okay. The target must succeed on a DC 14 Constitution saving throw, or its hit point maximum is reduced by an amount equal to the damage taken. Can she still do this when she's down? Can she still do the... No. Okay, so her maximum is reduced.
It's Constitution. Constitution is something you have.
Yeah.
I would say yes.
Okay, keep your fingers
Maybe.
crossed.
I'm not sure. This is like...
Well, she failed anyway.
Okay.
So,
Should be my turn then. No, it's his turn. It was
no,
his
I
turn,
just
right?
need to finish reading. So now her hit point total is reduced to 10. Minus 16, so to speak. The target dies if this effect reduces its hit point maximum to 0. No, it does not in this case. Okay, she's down. Your turn.
As a bonus action, I will drop the necrotic shroud, so I will look like I do. And I will run forward to her. Will put my hand on her shoulder. And she will roll number of d4s equal to proficiency 2d4s. Okay. Do I have it in here? Healing hand. I have it in here, but she's getting 7 hit points back.
Okay.
And I will try to basically stand above her, so if he hits someone, it's me and not her.
Ruto will do his thing, and on an 11 he succeeds. 4 points of damage. It's the Wraith. It's cocked. Does a 17 hit?
Yep.
Okay, then you take 6. What is that?
What is what?
Oh, you take 6 points of. Yeah, I was just confused by the die roll. You take 6 points of necrotic damage, and you need to make a DC.
Wait. Resistance mean just half, so 3 points. Because I'm resistant to necrotic and radiant damage.
Oh, very nice. Then please make a Constitution saving throw. But this time the DC for you is then 10 because you have this resistance.
I have advantage. No, it's on con saves, but only if I concentrate on spells. Let's see. 13.
Okay,
If
that
I have
hits.
advantage.
Sorry, that is enough because I give you a lower DC because of your condition.
Okay.
You're fine. You just take the damage. Your hit point maximum is not reduced. So now Min has to make. No, she doesn't have to make it.
No, she's awake, but lying on the floor.
Okay, so she gets up, which is an action.
No, it's half movement to get up.
Okay, so basically, yeah. So she spends.
I'm not sure if they changed it in.
Well, I mean,
2024.
okay, so she still has an action left.
Yeah.
And she attacks, and she hits. Let's see how much damage she does. Sorry, that's 1d6 plus 4. It's 8 damage. That's just enough. He dies. Well, he's even deader now. And the...
Oh, I'm getting hit points. Wait.
Okay.
I gain temporary hit points when someone reduces an enemy to 5 hit points within 10 feet. Yeah, I'm standing right next to it at the moment. So, how many temporary hit points? Each character mod plus warlock level. So, 6 temporary hit points for me.
Okay. And the emerald falls to the ground. He's no longer clutching it.
Looking over to Min. Are you okay?
I just feel really weak. Whatever that wasn't just him hitting me. There was something else. And you see actually that blood is beginning to stream from her mouth. And she coughs violently. And she looks a lot worse for wear.
Maybe drink this, and I will handle my potion of healing.
Okay, how does that work? 1d6 or whatever are they?
Wait, potion of healing. I think it's 2d4 plus 4, but let me see. 2d4 plus 2, okay.
Two d4 plus 2, okay?
Yep.
Standard.
Normal.
Well, Max, she got 6.
Awesome.
which means that she cannot actually gain all of those because, of course, her maximum is reduced. But she is now as full as she can get. She's now at 10 hit points. She can't get more.
Do we think it's what we were looking for, though? Still not sure. I will carefully walk over and pick up the gemstone.
You feel that your hands are really warm now that you're holding this, and it begins to glow.
I will hold on to it.
I'm actually stupid. It said 2d4 plus 2. She can't regain more, but she would have received actually 9 in total. Thank you very much.
That would have been a good
It
roll.
helps if you read. It's such a nice picture that you created. And it says 2d4 plus 2. And I rolled 1d4. Yes, it's warm. And it bathes you in a really soft green light.
Well, my friend, the question is, are you what we are looking for or not? Because we didn't get any idea on what this artifact is. Looking over to Min and Rotu.
The stone doesn't speak to you if you're
No,
addressing
I know.
it.
No. I'm just...
Well, I mean, it looks magical.
Yeah, but it does nothing. Except making my hands warm, which is nice.
We have those
But
as well. They're not green, but we have those little. They're made of ceramics, and we call it china. And we put in little coals, and we hold them to warm our hands in winter.
Oh, it's glowing pretty. It's an artifact against darkness, or something that they suspect can help against the darkness.
Well, I mean, to be quite honest, he defended it with his life twice. He killed his whole family for it. I assume that this is probably his most prized possession.
Yeah, doesn't mean it's worth a lot for other people. He didn't seem real in... Well, he was a bit cray.
I mean, we can still keep looking. We could also go back to the other chamber where this huge whatever entity is. Maybe whatever we're looking for is there, but I feel really weak.
Well, if we... should we leave and see if we can find a place to make a long rest? Just get some sleep. Get some energy and get spells back, because then I can have a look at it.
All right, let's do that.
Okay.
But not down here, says Ruto. I
No,
don't like
we
this
need...
place.
I honestly want to stay outside of the whole building, if possible, because we don't know if they are returning after we scared them off.
Who are they?
Well, no, him, the troll, was a troll, wasn't it?
The troll, yeah. Yeah, the rat stretcher, you mean?
Yeah. Okay, so let's leave carefully, not offend anything else here.
You basically getting up the stairs is a little bit difficult, but you manage because now the stairs are basically a sliding. Yeah.
Oh yeah. When we walk through the room with the gold, Lyra would grab like a handful with the idea of it's for Min, so we can buy the things she needs.
Okay.
Not sure what will happen then, but that would be Lyra's instinct.
Yeah. Nothing happens.
Okay.
And it doesn't change into anything else. It stays gold, and it seems like it's real gold.
Then she would, I don't know how much I can grab with a hand, but it would just be a hand, and she would stuff it in her pocket. And she would not try to hide it, so Min should be able to see it.
13 gold coins.
Okay.
Like 13 ducats or whatever they are. Like 13 gold. Lara says, actually, why not? Oh, she's very lucky. She grabs 22.
It's good.
She takes both hands and she says,
Okay.
well, maybe we can buy ourselves passage back. I mean, maybe there's some kind of magic that we can buy to get away from here once everything is finished.
Or we can use the money to get what you need to read minds.
Actually, at the moment, I'd rather just, go home. But we will get through this. First of all, let's get out of here. So you go upstairs, go outside.
Yep.
It is darkest night because obviously you arrived. Where do you want to go?
Staying close, but finding a place where we can put up camp.
Okay, you could go back to the entrance where you met the gargoyles. You have a very good rapport with them. They might even watch over you.
Yeah, let's try that. If they are still there. We encourage them to leave, so I'm not sure if they will be still sitting there, but we will walk in that direction for sure.
You arrive at the gates, or at the gate posts. The gargoyles are still there, but they're not manning two separate gate posts. They're now sitting on one, and they're quietly speaking. And as you come around, they're like, "Oh, look, it's you!" And they flutter to the ground, and they're basically standing next to you. They're not very tall anyway, and they look up to you and said, "So how was it?"
Well, we found something. We're not sure what. But we found our friend. Look! And she will point to Ruto.
And they look at Ruto, and Ruto is smaller than them, and he looks up at them, and they look up at them, and they look at Ruto, and they're like, "You're a very large mouse." "I'm not a mouse. I'm a fae." "Oh, I am so sorry. I am so sorry." And the gargoyle bows, and he says, "So what did you find?"
This here. And she will pull out the gemstone. We're not sure what it does. I might find out tomorrow morning.
Okay. That is very old and very valuable.
Well, a dead man tried to kill us for it. And he killed his whole family over it, which is not speaking for this thing, I have to say.
That is Rennick. You met Rennick?
That was him? That poor man.
Yeah, we were stuck out here, but we heard him cry, and he went crazy.
Yeah, he said he killed everyone over this because he suspects everyone wants to steal it, and he just lost his marbles.
Well, if this is it, it's very valuable then.
It doesn't do much.
But you don't know that. It glows.
That's right, and it's nice, warm to the touch.
So, you see, it is doing something. We neither glow nor are we warm to the touch, and they look at each other.
Just to be curious, do you guys need sleep? Or could you have an eye on us, waking us up if something comes near? Because we need
We
some
don't
rest.
sleep. We are watch gargoyles.
Would it be okay for you to watch over us so we can get some rest?
Sure.
And
We'll fly up again so that we see more.
That would be lovely. And just yell if you see anything dangerous come closer.
They fly up and they basically land on the post, and you can see that they're basically positioning themselves, that one of them is looking out at the road and the other one is looking at the house where you came from, the mansion where you came from. And you can build a camp.
Yep.
And you can go to sleep.
We will try and hope we can get a long rest.
Okay, so first of all, you are successful in having a long rest.
Yay!
And because this is the case, her maximum hit points go back to where they were. However, now we have the different healing happening. You get back you can roll your hit dice as many as you like. You don't have to roll them, but you can take as many hit dice as you like and sacrifice them and get the value in hit points back.
I will roll 1. Although
You don't
it's
need
a
to roll. You
shabby
just
roll.
get you just get the whole hit die value back.
Ah, okay.
whatever it is,
So
yeah.
I take a D8, so 8 points. You say
She
Okay.
does. She does the same,
Then
and she
I
also
was almost full anyhow, so
yeah. So she's now at 18.
that's it.
That's fine. Okay. And you wake up after 8 hours. It's now kind of sort of late-ish morning, maybe 10. Okay. And it's this murky kind of like semi-dusk that is omnipresent in this land. What do you want to do?
While we breakfast, I will do identify on the gem.
Okay. Okay, that's an interesting spell. I've never heard of this. What did you roll?
I don't have to roll.
You don't. Okay.
No, identify. I just have to focus on it. I need to touch it. And if it's magic or magic imbued, I learn its properties, how to use it, what it does, if it needs attunement. So basically, I know what it does.
You would know what it does. Okay.
So in case we would find, I don't know, a dagger that can produce flames, I would exactly know what it does. It's a really nice spell. Not many get that. I think only wizards and warlocks, as it seems. Oh no, druids get it, I think, as well.
I would say it's definitely evocation magic.
Okay.
And it would further the growth of natural beings. So, for example, if you were a tree, if you had a tree and you put it underneath it, the tree would grow a lot more quickly and it would be a lot more fruitful. There would be more apples or whatever. It's that kind of magic.
Okay. Do I need to attune to it to use it?
You don't think that it is used like that.
Okay.
And you couldn't attune to it. But you can also tell something else. You can tell that it is at the moment corrupt. So instead of promoting growth and nature, it's actually destroying it.
It's corrupt. That would be what Lyra would speak out loudly, looking at it. It's not doing what it should at the moment.
How can you tell?
Well, I can identify magical things. And this should help growing, but at the moment it's making everything exactly the opposite.
She looks around. Well, I mean, this place looks pretty not growing, but more dying.
I have no idea what to do with it. I don't want to bring it to the witches. Around them at least looks pretty. I don't want to have everything destroyed there.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe they can tell you what this actually is, because I doubt that it's just a thing. I think there's more to it. I think we should stick to the plan. We should ask them what it is, and then they can make a decision if they want us to keep it, if they want to destroy it, or maybe do something entirely different with it.
Okay. But I think it's the old thing that we were sent out to find. And Ruto, we freed everyone that you were worried about.
Yes.
So I think then the question is who goes which way. I don't know if you want to join us or if you want to go home, Ruto.
Well, I mean, my work here is done, but I'm happy to travel with you for a while.
It would go opposite to your home, just to warn you.
Well, I live in the forest. I'm a fae. I'm a sprite. The
Well,
forest is my home.
You would still be in a forest. We are visiting lovely witches and was it Buttercup? Buttercup. Which he knows, the horse. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well then, I'm happy to go with you.
That sounds lovely. Then you two, looking at the gargoyles, do you want to stay here or do you find a new place? We can take you with us for a while. Maybe you find something nicer to
Well, I mean, it would
guard.
be nice if there was... Is there a village or a city that we could guard? Anything that has a gate will do.
Well, it does not have... The village doesn't have a gate, right?
It
was
does.
just open.
It has gate posts, but the gate itself is
gate posts,
broken.
but the
That's
gate
why they
is
always
missing.
put the cart in front of it.
Well, if you find that we first visit the witches and then we move on towards the village, they would appreciate help, I think. A lot of them
Well, then let's go there.
died to sickness. They need every help they can.
Oh, we're very good at our job.
That would be helpful.
So, the 5 of you set out and you walk down the road. You walk back into, you walk back towards the witches, and after 1.5 days you arrive. You have one more break. At night, the gargoyles, and which means you can also again sacrifice a D8 if you like, or a D10, whatever your hit die is.
I don't have to. I'm totally
Okay.
up again. I only lost 3 hit points, so
Okay, so she is going to do this.
just
so
get my one
that's
spell back and that's it.
26. So she is now back to normal. But you get your 1 hit die deck back. Sorry, did you say that?
Oh, 1 hit die back. That's
Yeah.
good. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so essentially, then you arrive in the clearing where the house of the coven is, and yeah, you arrive, knock on the door is opened, and it is Calliope, and she says, "Oh, hello, well met. So you've come back. What did you find?" Do
Well,
step inside. She looks at everybody. She's like, "Oh, you've made friends."
Yes. So meet Ruto, please. He's a fae, not a mouse. Please don't call him a mouse.
He bows deeply and basically preens.
And then did the gargoyles have names? Did we even ask? If not, we would have asked them during our travel latest.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't write down names for them. I just wrote down gargoyle.
They're called Louis and Mark.
Louis and Mark. These two lovelies are Louis and Mark, and the idea is that we will bring them to Willowhole so they can start guarding a good place.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Willowhold can really do with a pair of intrepid and very alert guards. And the two of them basically smile, a very stony smile, and she says, "Well, I suppose you don't eat, do you?" And they both shake their heads. But maybe you would like to come inside and make yourselves comfortable, because there's nothing to guard here really, and maybe you would like to see the inside. And the two of them walk in, you follow, Ruto is there as well, and you go inside, and the other two witches are there as well, and they quiz you and they want to know everything. What do you tell them?
We tell them exactly what happened, what we encountered, what we've done, and then I will put the gem in the middle of the table. It's not okay at the moment. It does not help growth. It's like, I don't know, dirty.
You put the gemstone on the table and you see immediately a change in the attitude of these three witches. They look at it and you see absolute awe, but also infinite sadness as they see it.
Is there anything we can help it to be itself again?
This is the stone of Eronia, one of the sisters four. She's the sister of the fields. It needs to be restored to her sanctuary. Otherwise it'll keep polluting its surroundings. It was removed forcefully.
Well, Mr. Rennick did a good job there, as it seems. He killed a lot of people to have it and keep it.
Well, I'm pretty sure that he was being corrupted by it. It is supposed to be in the sanctuary. And of course with the sister there. As you know, the sisters have been captured. They're no longer in their sanctuaries. But each sanctuary has something of the sister. As you can see, this is her heart, as it were. Well, not her actual heart, but... And it would be buried in her sanctuary, and from there it would feed and nurture the surroundings.
But if we do it now, it would destroy everything.
Well, if you restore it to where it came from and where it is supposed to be, it would at least lie dormant until you free her. It would not destroy anything. Even sitting here, it would start to destroy everything.
Yeah,
it will pollute everything in its surroundings.
Do you know where the sanctuary is?
Yes, everybody does. It's in the middle of the forest.
Of this forest?
Well, it's a huge forest that we're in. It is in a valley in the forest. And it's a bit of a problem. The people who reside there are very well, they are very protective of their homes, which I understand. You want to be protective after all that's happened. And a lot of them have also given up hope that the situation will change for the better. They don't take to people from outside gladly. And I would say that if you showed them this, they would be very surprised that it's still there. But I'm not sure what they would do with it if you gave it to them.
Do we need to bury it, like, somewhere? Is there, like, I don't know, an altar or anything like that?
Well, they can tell you exactly where it is.
Because I don't want a person to have it, because then we have the next circle of corruption, and they will murder everyone because they want to steal it from them.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, we can tell you which way to go, and
That
then
would be good. We would do a stop at Lohold first, but
all right, then maybe Ruto, maybe you should go with them, because you know what I'm talking about. And they've been sitting there nodding, and, well, I mean, I was going home to Berryville anyway, so we can stop by in Berryville, and I could send someone ahead to inform the great Fae that you are approaching. I mean, Trista and, well, it's mainly Trista that is going to be the problem. Yeah, but maybe if I tell them how bravely you fought for our friends, the rats, and they weren't even of your concern, that may tell them that you are good at heart to fight for those that can't fight for themselves. She can tell you exactly where the Fane, the sanctuary, is. That would be my suggestion.
then let's try that. Stay one night here. Tomorrow morning we leave for Willowhold to get these two proper job again, and to have a peek how it's doing. We haven't been there in a while. And then move on towards your home, and then persuade, how did you call it, Trista, that we are just there to help. And honestly, we're not planning to stay.
Well, she will definitely ask you to do something else. She will ask you to bring back Ironia. She will tell you where she is.
Oh, we can see. We're just two humans.
You're not just two humans. The power of the Fae is great, says one of the witches, but it's also limited in that they lose it very, very quickly when they get away from their center.
Okay.
So they are very powerful in Berryville and its surroundings. If they leave that area, it's like an unseen border. They cross it, and then the only thing that they have left is the power of their weapons.
But you are powerful.
But we're not Fae.
No, looking at Ruto.
Oh, well,
You did magic in front of me. You're not only good with your weapon, you can do more.
he
That
basically
is powerful.
looks to the ground and basically draws a little symbol with his toes, and kind of like, that was nothing. It didn't really.
Was. Not a lot of people can do magic where we are coming from.
Yeah, it's, yes, I call myself Fae, and I am Fae, but actually I'm more of a sprite. We don't
Okay.
grow. We are like, this is as tall as I'll ever gonna get.
Oh,
And Trista is very powerful.
but she's Fae. Not right.
Yes, and she has to stay where she is. But within those confines, she can do anything. And she does. She keeps a sanctuary for all of us. Berryville would be nothing if she wasn't there. That's where all the Vulpines live. That's where we live.
Min, maybe she can restore your missing ability if we agree to help her.
Ruto looks at Min, interested. What are you missing?
You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. Sorry for bringing it up. Just an
No.
idea.
No, it's fine. Well, I come from a place and a people where everybody uses their minds to talk to each other. We don't really use words that much. We can speak in others' minds. Only I can't. So that was quite tough because everybody was always talking and I didn't hear them. And of course, I couldn't speak with them either. And at some point, they just threw me out. And I think that if I learned how to do it, or if I got magics to do it, everything would be better. And Ruto looks at her and he says, I see. But do you really think that this is what sets you apart?
I don't think she needs it. She's amazing like this. But I get that she's missing something.
Well, and he looks at you and he says, yes, I think you are right. She is amazing. But you can always ask Trista. She may be able to help. I'm pretty sure that she can read minds if she wants to. I don't know if she does it regularly, and I don't know if it's something that she can teach. But why not ask her? If you bring that back, and he points with his little paw to the stone, then she will know that you're good at heart and that you mean well.
At least we can ask. If she says no, it's no.
All right. So you want to go to Willowhold first,
Yeah.
Calliope says. All right. From there, I'm going to draw you a map where you need to go. So essentially what you need to do is you go south to Willowhold, and then instead of going to your right, which would take you into this part of the forest, you go into the other side. Because the forest is basically bisected by this road that you're always traveling on from San Sebastian, where the Brotherhood of the Light is, down to... Yeah, or the Order of the Light, because there are sisters as well. The Order of the Light. To Willowhold. Okay. You know that it's about a day or so to Willowhold.
Yeah, that's why we stay overnight if we're allowed to. And
Of course, you are invited, and more than invited. You are told that it would be a good idea if you stayed, and of course you need to bring your horse.
Well, it's a question if we...
Or do you want to leave her here?
I don't think she will have much to any food along the way, because honestly, what is growing here, I don't want to give to her. If it's okay for you, I know it's one more.
Well, she's made fast friends with the
feed.
donkey, so yes.
Then I think Min, because we can walk, we don't need her.
No.
And in the woods, she's not really happy anyhow, so then we would leave her here.
After that decision is made, finally Darling takes the opportunity. She sniffs Ruto. And she's a bit surprised.
Remember, rules are still up. We're not eating people.
She's also a bit surprised because he seems to smell like a mouse, but of course he's a lot larger than any mouse she would ever have seen, so she sniffs him.
Snack ever, sir.
Best snack ever. But then she basically decides that maybe she wants scritches instead, and Betty rubs.
She will get that.
Okay, and then she goes and has some milk. And then basically night falls, you go to sleep, you get up in the morning, you regain all of your hit dice if you have lost any. She does, so she has them, and she has them back. And you make your way down to Willowhold.
Yeah, and Darling comes with us in the backpack as usual.
You notice that although it looks a bit funny, the two gargoyles are actually quite light on their feet. They are fast walkers. They can keep up, although they are very small. Compared to you, they are small. Yeah.
If they need a break, we can carry them, or they can just sit on the shoulder.
After a while, they do want to be a little bit carried, so you pick them up, and it's like holding on to a moving stone statue. It's strange because it is made. They are made of stone, but they move. It feels weird. The tactile sensation is strange, and so basically, after a while, you see the gate coming up. The cart is still across it. One of the gargoyles says, "That's a weird gate. It looks like a cart. What's going on?"
Well, that's the only thing they have to close the gate at the moment.
They definitely need watch gargoyles.
I think it would help them because there are not many alive, I suspect. They had like an evil magical plague going through the village. It's gone.
What caused it?
A woman. I still don't understand why she wanted to kill all her friends and family, but she almost did, including her father.
And where's she now?
Dead.
All right. Okay. Good. So we will have to guard them double time because, they need to feel safe.
Let's go together first to the main hall and see if the village wants your protection. I hope so.
You arrive at the gate or at the cart. A guard who looks a lot less dead than they used to in the past. He looks a lot more filled out. So it looks like they have now started to eat again. Says, "Oh, it's you. I remember." What are they?
Maybe help us for you to guard the village.
The two gargoyles march ahead and they're like, "I'm Louis, I'm Mark," stretching out their hands to shake. "We are gargoyles." The man... Okay, he's seen worse. He rolled a 16 on his wisdom save. "You are made of stone." "Of course, we're gargoyles. What did you expect?" He is surprised, so he just shakes their hands and he says, "I guess." And he moves the cart.
The question is, who is in lead of the village? I'm not sure. Did the
Alfwald is
mayor
still alive. At least the last time you were here, he was alive. He was very
Yeah,
sick.
but it's a question. He was not looking good.
Oh, you're asking
so-
him. You're asking him.
Yeah, I'm asking him.
Oh, at the moment, well, the brothers and sisters did cure all of us.
Which is good. Also the old man. He was hanging by a thread.
Well, he is heartbroken that his daughter has disappeared, but he's still alive. He's old, but he's healthy.
Okay.
Again, I mean, his heart is broken. And age, of course, in and of itself can affect your health, but the plague is gone from him as well.
And he has people to look out for that might give him strength. But we will ask him and see if they're fine with those two helping you. Because they're very good at guarding.
The two of them nod and say, "Yes, it's what we do. We're watch gargoyles."
But
Well-
yeah, let's see what the bus says. Come on, guys.
So he lets you in. You walk past him. Ruto also walks past and basically eyes him, and he eyes Ruto because it's not every day that you see a 20-centimeter tall mouse in leather armor with a sword. And you walk in, and do you go to his house? To the
Yeah.
Okay, you go to the mayor's house or elder statesman house, whatever you want to call it, and you can see that door is open and there are people standing in front of it. They're talking. but it's a lot, the vibe is different. They are concerned, you can tell, and they have been through a lot, but this total hopelessness and also the sickness is no longer there. And what you also notice is they've started to clean up their act. So the all of the stuff, all of the plants that were rotting in the fields have been removed. The fields have been tilled. So probably the brothers and sisters of the light did some of the work, because these people were exhausted, they were ill, they were malnourished. But somebody has definitely been working in the fields. You know, from what you know about tilling and stuff, that probably they won't have a harvest for a while, but if it's been sown, then they will be reaping at some point. And you also see that they have left provisions here, because of course they said they were going to bring stuff. So there is, you know, the basic staples. There are potatoes, there is dried fruit, especially apples. So everything that keeps, they have. And you see 13 and 17, they've been hunting and they've been successful. So you see a couple of deer that have been shot. None of them white. And they are now basically going about divvying up and butchering them so that they can also eat them. Yeah, okay. And you arrive there, and there are lots of people lots of people, you know, I would say that maybe there is now 60 people or so left. So, but they do recognize you, because you stand out and you were there and you helped them, and they greet you and they say, so, it's you again. We didn't expect to see you again. That's good. And we're going to have a feast tonight. You're of course invited.
We would love to stay. But is the mayor, is he there? We have...
Yes, he is. He is. And he's sitting up at his desk. He's still frail, but he is alert. But don't mention his daughter if you can help it. He's really heartbroken.
I can imagine.
You step inside. Oswald is sitting
inside.
there. He of course, he is so stubborn, he needs to get up to greet you. So he holds on to the tabletop with one hand. He's basically pressing. I
will do quick steps towards him so he doesn't get the idea to move toward me. It's enough that he's standing up.
He stretches out his hand.
You don't have to. We are so happy to hear that you're feeling better.
And I'm so happy to see you. Thank you. It would not have been possible without you. And he basically, you can tell that he's just, please be seated. And he points to...
I will plonk myself very quickly so he has the point to sit down again.
Yes,
as well.
and he's just basically waiting for you and Min to sit down. And then he also feels like he can now sit down. And he says, you're back. Of course, there's going to be a feast tonight, and you're all invited. And
we would like to stay just for a night. We will have to leave tomorrow to travel on. But well, on our travels, we made friends with these two lads, and I would usher them to, like, come on, get on the table.
And they spread their wings and they fly onto the table and land.
They lost basically their mention to it's not their fault, but they were stuck there for a while to basically but they are looking for a new place they can guard, because they are very good at guarding and keeping an eye on who goes in and out, and we thought you can use any help. And the good thing is they don't need food, so they would not lower your rations, but they could help to stand at the gate and look at people and ask everyone passing, like, why are you here? What are you doing?
You see that he is eyeing them, but when you look at the two gargoyles, you can also see hopefulness in their faces. They really want this job.
They guarded us very, very well, I have to say. Oh, by the way, this is Mark, and this is Louis.
And they
And
both
they don't need
bow.
payment. Just, I think company would be enough for them.
And if you have a post on which we could perch, like we can either share one post or each of us can perch on a separate post.
Well, the gateposts are still there, so...
He looks at them and then he looks at you and he says, well, I don't know what to say. We've never had gargoyles, but these fine fellows look magnificent. And he says, but our posts are made of wood. They're not made of stone. Would that be a problem? No, we're not dragons. We wouldn't set them on fire. That would be fine. All right, well then, I guess, welcome to Willowhold. And the two of them jump up a little and the tabletop shakes a little and then they say, all right, so we could start right now. And he says, well then, you came in through the gate, just go there, perch on the posts and good luck. And, I will inform everybody tonight at the feast that you are there and we will come by tonight and say hello to you. And you can learn all of our faces. And when it's one of us, you just say hi and let them in. And if it's somebody who isn't, then you ask them who they are and what they want. And the two of them, you see, feel important now. And they jump from the table and they walk out, which looks weird. And they walk down the 2 steps down to the ground and then they take flight. And you assume a light on the gateposts.
And by time, if they do a good job, you can see if you want to change them to stone posts.
I mean, honestly, this is unbelievable. Where did you find them? I mean, I've never seen any of these. And do all of them speak?
I've never met any gargoyles before, so I don't know. But we saved... Who did we save? Louis or Mark?
Louis.
Because one of... Okay. Well, Mark couldn't leave because Louis was shattered into 2 pieces. We fixed them. And then they were free to leave. They were sitting in front of a ruin probably for decades.
Oh. And the owner was okay with them leaving?
It's a ruin. There was no owner anymore.
Oh, I see. So they were really out of a job.
Yes.
Well then.
And they are very happy to have a purpose now.
I can tell you they seem like really fine fellows.
They are.
And I'm very happy to have them.
While traveling.
Very good.
Awesome. Then yes, we would love to stay for the feast. Also, we can help if anything needs to be set up. Mm-hmm. And if we could crash for the night somewhere, we don't care. Can be stables, would be fine. And tomorrow morning we will have to leave, as I said.
Mm-hmm. All right then. You are more than welcome to stay. We unfortunately, this is tough for me to say, but we have more houses empty than we would like, so you can pick wherever you want to stay. But I want you to be at the feast, and we have more than enough rations, so we are happy to share. I know that you were reluctant in the past because you felt we needed the food, and we did. But the Order of the Light have helped us and have healed us, and now people are able to go foraging for berries again. We've also, with their help, tilled our fields, and we've started hunting again and catching fish. So we are equipped to feed 2 additional mouths.
Which also means that the village will grow again.
Yes, thanks to you.
Oh, thanks to all of you hanging in there. A lot of people would have given up and probably died.
Yes.
It's good that you all are stubborn enough to hang in there. That's what villagers need around here.
I've also given some thought to my successor, because I am feeling my age. And I'm not sure when my daughter will be back, but I cannot leave my people in the lurch. So we're going to have an election.
Makes sense.
And whoever is put forward and gets the most votes will succeed me. I have already told everybody. It's planned for next week so that people can make up their minds who they would like to nominate. And then for a couple of months we will work together. Not that there is much to learn. And then I shall retire.
There is. It's not easy to lead a village and be a fair leader. I'm quite sure you will get situations where they are looking at you who are making a decision because they can't.
Thank you. And you can see that he's holding on. He looks tired, though.
Mm-hmm. Then we will leave you with your work and we will see outside if we can help.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you for taking those two in and giving him a job.
He gets up and you can see that he's not very steady on his feet, and he basically holds on again to the table and he shakes your hands. And
I will shake his hand and then we will leave.
Mm-hmm.
And we will have a look around in the village if anyone needs help with anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, people take you up on your offer. There is water to be carried. The well, as you now know, is fine, so there is no problem with the well anymore. You also have people who are basically just, preparing the food. So it's going to be, so they're going to roast something on the spit, then they're going to make a stew. You count 4 deer in total. So there is a lot of meat. Some of this will be cured to keep. So they're happy for your help if you're happy to start chopping even wood or something like that, because they need to get the spit going. So they need to build a fire. So between the two of you, you can help, because although they have recovered, you are still a lot more lively and stronger than they are, because they have come out of a long illness.
Mm-hmm.
But what you do notice is people are talking again. There is even laughter. So the minds are slowly putting the past behind. And you also notice that all of the graves have been properly dug and have been closed again, and that they have put up little plaques, commemorative plaques with the names of the deceased. So they're now also putting that behind themselves.
I think in between, Lyra would pull Min aside. Do you still think it's good that he does not know what happened with his daughter? It feels very wrong to let him die, hoping his daughter will return one day.
Yeah, I see what you mean, but the question is, what would you tell him? Who she was, what she did? That would also probably then lead to the question, what happened to her? Are you going to admit to killing her?
We could also just tell that we found her dead in the woods.
And then what about the body?
That we gave her a burial and burned her.
He would probably want to know where. Would you tell him so that he can go and pay his respects? I mean, we can do this. I mean, it is half a day into the woods. I just hope that he doesn't want to go there tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't think he would.
He would try, but he wouldn't
to be
make
honest.
it.
No. We will return for sure, and we can see how it is then.
But I mean, I know what you mean, and I understand what you're saying. Maybe we should tell him. And tell him where the grave is. But also tell him that it's in his I don't think he would leave probably before his successor has been elected, because I think that was very important to him to hand over. And if he then decides to go, and if he then doesn't manage to get there alive, then it was meant to be.
I think he will get there alive. I'm not sure if he will make it back.
But maybe then somebody will go with him.
Well, if he waits until re-election, well, we'll probably not be back yet. Or we do it on our way back.
Or you mean you want to take him?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we still have time for that, I'm sure.
Well, but we need to move on. I don't want to keep the stone around here for too long.
Oh yes, you're right, I agree. Well, maybe tell him when we're back.
Yeah, when we're back. Let's do what we have to do now, and when we return, we will tell him, because then we can directly bring him there. If he wants to.
That's a good idea.
Also, it would not crash the festivities today. I think they all deserve a little bit of happy.
And I think he deserves a little bit of happy.
And I think it will help him as well to see the others enjoying life a little bit again.
I agree. You're absolutely right.
So on the way back. Mm-hmm. And then we will go back to helping wherever we need to help.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to take a short break now, 5 minutes, and then we're going to go to the festival, and then you will go into the other side of the forest.
Awesome.
So the evening has fallen, night has fallen, and there's a huge bonfire. People are celebrating. This has been a long time coming. They really need this. They really needed this. They've also brought out a keg of ale, so there is some alcohol. It tastes nice. The food is plentiful. It's good. But they've also cooked in such a way that whatever is left over will keep, because they still need to be economical with their supplies. And it's I mean, it is bittersweet, because they're also now thinking of the dead and remembering them, and you know how it is when you come through a really hard time, you think back on it, but largely you would say the sentiment is hope.
I would also in between use minor illusion that out of the campfire you basically have like shooting stars. Just to make it more pretty, because I don't think... Are there any children left?
There are still some children left.
Okay, and for the children, maybe also in between of them that like transparent butterfly shop that they can go with. So that will be Lyra's. At least she can add to the festivities and make it a little bit more magical, literally.
And that actually it works wonders. And even the older folks look at it, and there's oohing and eyeing, and they enjoy it. And then at some point somebody starts telling stories, and you hear stories about the land and about the time before Lord Drygo decided to tear everything apart. You hear stories about Fae, but it's more like, it's fairy tales, really. It's not about fae. I would say it's about fairies. So like the little Tinkerbells of this world, the cute ones, the nice ones. Although Tinkerbell has a temper. But it's those kinds of stories, and and then at some point the festival ends, people go back to their beds, to their houses. They have assigned a house to you that you can live in for as long as you want, and for tonight anyway. And so Darling obviously also follows you inside, and you go to bed. Min meditates for a while. Do you want to do anything, or do you just want to go to sleep? Okay.
Just go to sleep.
You go to sleep, you wake up the next morning, you've slept really well, and you have breakfast. And then do you want to say your goodbyes and leave right away, or do you want to do anything
Yes.
else? Okay.
No, we would say goodbye to the people here and would also make a little detour like out of the village to say goodbye to Louis and Mark.
You don't even need to make a detour because you have to walk through the gate.
Okay, good.
And they are sitting there. They look very important. They are very kind of like alert, and they take their job really seriously. But they do then look down, they wave at you, and they wish you a pleasant journey and hope that you will be back soon. And they will be waiting, and they will be sitting here, and and then you follow the map that you've been given into the forest, and Ruto is there as well, and he basically also says, well, in Berryville is a really nice place, and there are many sprites, and there are the Vulpines. You will like them. They are like foxes, but not quite. Don't call them foxes. They don't like to be called foxes. They look a little bit like foxes. And then, as you travel, you can make a perception check.
We are so good at that. What do I always say? Everyone can roll a 20.
Yes, I rolled a 3.
It's a 12. That's okay.
Okay. That's way enough. You hear howling of wolves behind you, and you hear how they are breaking through the forest.
Not again.
Do you look? Or what do you do?
Looking at Min, I don't think running is an option. Should we just... Maybe it's the same one that remember that we are scary as hell?
Do you wait, or what do you do?
Yeah, I think we would walk on a little, but always turn around and try to catch when they get into our
You
vision.
see through the woods, through the forest, through the trees, you see 10 wolfish creatures that walk on 2 legs. Well, they don't walk, they run. They are very tall, easily 3 meters, and they are following you. What do you do?
Ruto, how far is Berryville?
Not far, but I think we should run regardless.
We start... I would pick up Ruto and start running. Because I suspect we can run faster than he can because he's just shorter.
Well, it's not his special skill. Yeah, you roll athletics for me, please.
Sure. Oh,
well,
natural 20. That's the best I can do.
And she has a +3, and she's even like proficient in it, and she gets a 13. So basically, you are fine. She is not.
I would not run too far ahead of her. I would make sure I'm staying near her.
One of them attacks her with a slashing of his paw, and he hits. Oh, and he does 8 points of damage. That hurt. You keep running. Make another athletics check.
As soon as someone attacks, the running stops. She would turn around, and the necrotic shroud would start, and she would be really angry. She would turn immediately. Darkness will go around her, and she will use minor illusion to make her voice louder and deeper, like "How dare you!"
Okay.
And they all need to make, at least the ones that are close to us two, to Min and me, need to make a charisma saving throw.
Okay. All right. I suppose this is a question. how they actually deal with that. Are they more wolfish, or are they then more... They need to make a charisma saving throw.
Charisma would be, if they're werewolves, charisma would be their human thingy, I think.
Okay, because I've got stats for a werewolf, but they have charisma 10. Kind of, yeah, maybe.
Which makes sense, that's the average. 10 is average, it's a 0.
They rolled a 17.
Okay.
Oh no, they're not. I'm sorry. It wasn't a charisma check. It was, what was it?
It was a charisma.
It was, yeah, 17.
Yeah. Then they made it. They're not scared, sadly. So they're not frightened.
Okay. Do you want to stand your ground, or do you want to run away?
I think Lyra is not in flight, but in fight mode. Not sure what Min is doing.
Okay, well, as you have stopped, Min is basically turning around, and she is going to... well, we're going to roll initiative.
Because running, they will just slaughter us. So I don't
Okay,
think it
so
makes
she
much
did
sense.
really well. She's got a 23.
I rolled a 19.
Okay, so Lyra, Min, Ruto, and the wolves. Okay, so Lyra actually... Sorry, Min and Lyra. I always mix the two of them up. Lyra. So Min does this thing where she gets her 1d6 back. She gets back 2 hit points. That's not too shabby. And she basically attacks. Natural 1.
No!
That's not good, but she will then expend one of her points and do 2 unarmed attacks as a bonus action. And a natural 1 again, but the other one hits on a 19. And that is a 1d6 plus 4. That's 7 points. Okay, so the first one, he did get hit. What do you want to do?
Can I spend my 2 lucky points to have advantage on attack? Because I do 3 attacks. Scorching Ray. It's 3 rays and I have to roll for each of them. So I would say I would use my luck that the first 2 are with advantage. And
Actually,
the
I
third
would
one
say
is
you
normal.
use 1 luck point and get advantage on all of them, because for
Okay.
me this is 1 combined attack.
Thank you. Then let's see. So where
And yes,
do
you
we
can.
have Scorching Ray. I have here Scorching Ray. 14. First one.
Okay.
Does it hit? Is the question.
Yes.
Okay. 9 points of fire against the first. Then she would turn to the next one. Natural 1 will definitely not hit. And the last attack, 25.
That hits.
8 points of fire.
So you have attacked 3 different ones.
3 different ones, and the second one did not. It basically went in front of his feet or whatever, or fast behind him.
Okay. Okay, then it's Ruto. And Ruto, as a bonus action, will whistle really shrilly and really loudly. And then he's going to take his bow. And that hits on a 13. Just check. Was it a 13 for him? I believe so. Yeah, a 13, and he does 1 point of piercing damage. Sorry, 1 point of 1d6 of piercing damage. Okay, that's better. 5, Okay, and then the other one needs to make a constitution save. And on a natural 1, it is poisoned.
Nice.
And if the saving throw result is 5 or lower, which it definitely is, it falls unconscious.
We like that.
Uh-huh. That was really lucky. Okay, so now it's the second wolf that you didn't hit. And on a 3 it doesn't hit at all. And the other one is on a 2. I like this die. Also doesn't hit.
Good.
Min is going to attack once on a 17. That is definitely a hit. And she does 9 points of bludgeoning damage, and she spends 1 focus point to give her 2 additional attacks. And that is an 11 and a 12. I'm not sure if that hits. If the 11 doesn't hit, but the 12 does. 1d6 plus 4. It's 10. Okay, so this one now needs to make a wisdom save. Against the 15. 12. This one runs. And one of them turns tail and runs. Do you want to do an attack of opportunity? Or do you just let him run?
If he's running past me, I will do an attack of opportunity.
He's turning and running away from you.
Then I'm not next to him. I'm doing range damage.
Okay. In that case, yeah.
So for me it doesn't count then.
So this one leaves, and the other one on a 13 does stay because he's unhurt. That was number 2. But you can see that he's kind of faltering. Do you want to do anything? I give you a reaction if you like to, I don't know, maybe scare him one more time or something.
I would just blast him when it's my turn.
Okay. Then it is your turn because Min just did her thing.
We will do another lock. And we do Scorching Ray again. 3 rays. Just spreading them out between the guys.
Yes.
Natural 20.
Okay, do damage.
21 points of fire.
Okay. Okay. This one turns tail. He takes 21. That is totally like fire damage. He's running away. He's gone.
Okay. Then next one is a 24 to hit.
Hits.
6 points of fire.
Yeah.
And another natural 20. Holy
Wow.
cow. I didn't even need luck, to be honest, but hey, we will still take it. 10 points of fire. So the first one was really unlucky. I rolled really high.
Okay. So now you have 2 smoking, lightly burning werewolves standing there.
And she would just yell, if you want to die, stay. If not, leave.
Ruto is going to attack with his bow, and on a 23 he definitely hits. He does 4 points of damage. So that's then 46, and let's see, DC. Yeah, Constitution, they've got a +2 and they rolled a 10, so yes, they did manage, they're not poisoned. And at that moment, you hear as 3 arrows fly past you into the group of werewolves, and one of them, they are not hit. On a 20, dirty 20, they are hit. And this one doesn't hit either. And they do 1d8. That's a 7. So 7, but now you hear rustling behind you. And voices, and the werewolves have a disadvantage on their, yeah. Oh, natural 20, they stay their ground.
Can we have a free action that Darling looks out of the backpack and gives the nasty cat hisses at them?
Yes, absolutely. She hisses at them.
Yeah. Like this hiss spatter, like
Yeah.
when a cat is really angry and you're like, oh, I don't want to mess with that.
Yeah, and they actually did another wisdom save, and they rolled an 11 only. They were looking for a 14. They begin to run.
Okay.
2 more arrows fly past you, but it's more like they were trying to scare them off, not maybe hit them. Do you turn around?
Can I throw, at least at the ones running, can I throw one Eldritch Blast at one of them?
Please do.
Because she's angry.
Okay.
How dare they? Sadly, it's just a natural one, so it goes wildly somewhere in the bushes.
Okay.
And then she will mainly turn around to look if Min and Ruto are okay.
Min is hurt, but she has. You think she'll live? She looked a lot worse when she was in the other situation.
I'll put my hand on her shoulder, and she will get 8 hit points back.
Ooh, it means that she is full.
Good.
Thank you. She looks a lot better. She looks also a lot more relieved. And this is, and I'm just going to post this because I think it's a really nice image. This is who you see. Coming up in the Zoom chat. Or not. Takes a long while.
Yep.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to do this differently.
Is it link or picture?
It's a picture, but it's not that big actually.
Well, it seems to be, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just gonna share my screen.
Yeah, then just share.
And everyone can see it. You see this?
Ooh.
Mhm. And there is 3 of them.
Mhm.
And they step towards you, and they say, "Well, that was close."
Thank you for your help.
You brought enemies to our borders. And Ruta says, "Well, not really. Or maybe they. Of course, they felt the emerald."
I think so, that they can... What, we've met at least one of them maybe before?
Was it the same one?
I don't know, they all look the same.
Well, anyway, they've got the heart of the fields. They've got the heart of the fields? And they're just carrying it around like that?
Well, that's the only way how to get it here to Berryville.
Well, follow me. And basically this person strides ahead of you, and Ruto says, "That is the Loverin. She's the right hand of Trista. She's very protective of everyone and everything. She's a bit strict."
If you want to keep the village safe, I get why, because everything is dangerous out here.
You also see that the other 2 that were with her remain. There's a picture now. That the other 2 remain kind of like where you were. They take the fallen, poisoned and therefore unconscious werewolf. They kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And drag the body away. And you cross into something that basically seems to be like an invisible border. And she says, you're going to stay in Berryville, and I'm going to inform Trista that you're here. She will want to speak with you.
That's why
Ruto,
we're here.
take
Thank
them.
you.
And she pretty much melts into the trees and is gone. You don't hear anything, you don't see anything, she's gone. And Ruto says, well, it's only a couple, maybe 2 hours to Berryville. And after a while, you arrive in Berryville, and this is basically what it looks like. You see little will-o'-the-wisps, little lanterns dotting the trees, and the light is filtering through the green leaves, so it's kind of like greenish blue or bluish green. And you also see, very soon you see plenty of sprites. Lots of them look like Ruto in terms of that they have something of a mouse about them. And they greet him, they greet you. So he says, so this is Theodore. This is my brother. He's also mousefolk like me. Theodore is obviously a young one because he's a lot smaller, and he basically Ruto picks him up and puts him on his hip and carries him around. And then you also hear a woohoo, woohoo, woohoo from a tree.
Well, I think Lyra will definitely look around for every sound and everyone. Whoever is also introduced, she will try to remember name and say friendly hello.
There's a huge owl, like super huge, and he says,
Lyra would just nod her head to it.
this is Livana. She's an owl. And Livana follows you with her eyes. And then, at some point, you come to a clearing, and on it you see a group of what are probably the Volpines, so little foxes with their teacher, learning, studying, and learning all about oaks and all of the trees and acorns, and also basically she tells them which ones are edible and which ones are not. And they're all sitting there. They all have little parchment blocks on which they can write, and they raise their hands and they ask questions and they answer questions from the teacher. And Min is totally smitten with them. And she says, "This is incredible. These are foxes."
I think they're Fae or sprites.
Yes, I know. Sorry,
Remember,
they
we were not
Volpines.
We shouldn't call them foxes.
You know where I come from? Foxes are very special. And
Where I
very
come from,
wise.
they are just well known for stealing eggs. Or their hens, if they can get them.
Oh, all right. Well, in my land, they are very wise, and the wiser they get, the more tails they have. And the wisest of them all has 9 tails.
Oh,
Yes.
that's something. Multiple tails.
And then at some point, Ruto says, well, do sit down. Trista is going to be a while. And then class is dismissed, and the Volpines come. They are very nosy. They are kids. And they want to find out who you are. And so they come to you and sit next to you and talk to you.
I would ask Roto if it would be impolite to give a little butterfly magic or not. Then minor illusion, so little butterflies would fly around.
The some of the younger ones actually try to chase them. Is this actually something that is just that they see, or is it also something that you can touch?
No, it would only be something they can see. But if they like grab one, she would make the illusion like pop.
They are very happy, and they basically they are really enamored of this. They really love this. The teacher looks on and she says, "That's very well done. You see, they are sprites. We can all work magic, but it's also different when you do it."
It's just pretty, but quite nice to look at. Children like it as well.
Yes, yes, especially these ones here. They are rascals, I can tell you. And she takes out a little bottle and she takes a swig, corks it, puts it back. Oh, would you like some as well?
No, thank you.
So, and she sits down and she crosses her legs. And you are? Because I mean, I know Ruto, but I don't know you two.
I am Min, and this is Darling.
You are Lyra.
Oh, I'm Lyra. Thank you, brain. I'm Lyra. This is Darling. That was correct.
And that is Min.
And Min, I will let herself introduce. So,
And I'm Min Shaddai. We're friends. And she looks at you. We're here to travel.
oh, we are actually here to talk to Trista.
Oh, you're here to talk to Trista. Is that so? Well, then she will be here presently. Usually when we have visitors, she will be quick about it and show up.
I think she got forewarned that we are here.
Forewarned is forearmed, as we say. So, do you want to talk about your business, or is this a secret? And I don't mind if it is. I'm just curious. We don't really see many people from outside. The Fae make sure that we remain undisturbed, but it also means that we're cut off from the world a little bit.
I think Trista should decide. Might also be that she just kicks us out because we're not welcome. I'm not sure. We will just wait and see what she says.
That's fine by me. We have lunch in an hour. Would you like some? It's not much. It's cheese and bread
Well, if we are
and
not
fruit.
taking food that you need, yes, we would love to.
We have plenty. Oh, and of course we've got honey. And at that moment, you hear a zzz and bees.
Mm-hmm.
Large bees, about the size of a hornet.
Great.
Fly in, and they are carrying a pot of honey.
Mm-hmm.
They deposit the pot of honey and fly away again. Like I said, we've got honey. They make it themselves and they deliver.
They are quite big.
And she looks at Ruto, so is he. For a mouse, I'm mouse folk. For mouse folk. And then after an hour, little more teaching, then, it's lunchtime. The little ones then have to go to sleep, so they have like their afternoon nap. And then the Fae Velaverin that you saw earlier arrives, and with her is a very tall Fae, clad in green, and everybody nods at her, and she approaches you, and she remains standing about 5 feet away from you, and she says, "I am Trista. What brings you to my land?"
I am Lyra. This is Min, and this is Darling. We found is wrong. We could get hold of the stone of Eronia, and we were told that it would be good to bury it here, that at least it stops devastating nature.
You found the stone.
Yes, and it's definitely not doing what it should do.
Do you have
And-
it with you?
Lyra would pull it out and would just hold it out in her hand.
You hear a collective go through the crowds, including mouse folk, including vulpines, and she takes it reverently in her hands,
It's
and you see it
tainted.
glow.
It destroys things at the moment, but we were told that if we can bury it in a sanctuary, it would at least just sleep and wait.
Yes. I never thought I would lay eyes on this.
Maybe we have. You can help us point in the way to maybe free Aronia.
You would go to the
think-
killing fields to free Aronia? You would risk your lives?
Well, I think my mom will kick my butt if I don't.
Your mom? And who is your mom?
Did I ever get a name? I did not,
Adwenna.
right? Okay. I suppose it's Adwenna. Or she has a big interest in me. I'm still not 100% sure.
At that moment, you hear crows.
Eye rolling. Show off.
And a feather falls and lands before Trista. Trista sees it sailing down.
She's a show off. Just don't take it too seriously. With a little smile.
I think you must be her daughter, because I do not think anybody would call her show off and yet live.
Well, we have. If I ever be able to talk to her, we will have a discussion. And it's not a nice one, believe me.
From what I hear, Adwenna is a very hot-headed person.
Well, that explains some points.
Like mother, like daughter?
Am I hot-headed looking at Min?
Min. Well, sometimes you are very pensive and you take your time making decisions, but sometimes you can be very hot-headed. For example, just back there with the werewolves, I would have preferred if we'd run.
There was no way to outrun them for 2 hours. They would have gotten to us quickly. They are much quicker than we are.
You could have been killed. And Trista says, yes, she is
wasn't
right.
Even hit. And how dare they?
Well, I suppose they were after this, and she holds up the emerald. They can feel its presence. Well,
hope we didn't.
no need to
And-
worry, you're safe here. And
Yeah, I
once we
don't-
have buried it, or you, I should say, have put it back into its sanctuary, it'll be safe there as well.
Okay.
But it is of great power. Not as great as the heart of Adwenna, but it is of great power. Some say that Aronia is the weakest of the sisters four because she just looks after the fields, but I doubt that.
Food is
I think-
important. If the fields are not green, we've seen
Indeed.
villages fall.
And I also don't think that one is more powerful than the other. It is just that their powers are different. I, for one, will sleep soundly when the heart is returned and Aronia is back. So, the Fane is near the black oak, or you should bury it under the black oak. The only problem is that the black oak is guarded by a dryad. His name is Bitter Branch. It's a nickname, really. He is he's of the opinion that we should try and make peace. with the vampires.
Oh no, why would you do that?
Because he's seen too many of his brothers and sisters failed. He believes we are too weak, and it would be best if we entered into a pact. Because Drygo would like to own the sanctuaries himself, to draw power from them.
But you can't do a pact if you are on the losing end. You will pay, and the other one will take.
I believe you are right, but it'll be Bitter Branch's prerogative to make a decision, because for better or worse, he holds the Black Oak. We could try and invade, beat him back.
No, we will have to talk to him.
Or talk to him. But I would ask you to talk to him, because he will not speak with me, because we are at opposite sides of a chasm. We haven't seen eye to eye in a very long time. I believe that he means well, because he feels that it would save those dryads that are still left. I, however, believe that it's a ruse, and as you said, if they give in, Drygo will not really care what happens to them. He will take what he wants, and if it means killing them in the process, he wouldn't care. But I fear that once he has the sanctuaries in his power, we don't know what's going to happen. So I can show you where the Black Oak is. I will walk with you to its borders, and then I would ask you to speak with Bitter Branch.
Okay.
And see what he says.
Then let's do it. Looking at Min, I have nothing but myself to throw in.
All right.
No magic left.
Then you should rest. And we will go in the morning.
Okay. If it's not a problem that the stone stays here for the night.
It is fine. It will not be a corrupting force so quickly. It'll take time. And there is still a lot of good in here. It would be overcome in time, but for the night, and maybe for a couple of more nights, it will not work its evil. You can rest safely here. No one will enter.
Thank you.
I will pick you up in the morning. And she leaves.
Okay. Could you just for my sake write down the name of my mom, that I write it down correctly?
Mm-hmm. Arduina.
Because everything I open at the moment says, you have to relog, and I'm just like, no, I don't have time to look for my password. Go away. Arduino, okay.
And so you go to sleep.
Yep.
If you have... Did you lose any hit points? You didn't, did you? No. Okay, in that case, you don't have to do anything with regard to healing. Of course, there is food. And you also realize that these people live here. So the Vulpines have little burrows where they sleep. The mouse folk have little houses where they live. And so you go to sleep, and I think we shall leave it here and see what happens with Bitter Branch and the Black Oak the next time, which is actually next Wednesday.
Yes, we will see if we can charm him, but not magically charm him, but just
Well,
honestly charm
it
him.
may be a
We'll see.
possibility actually, and then we will see what happens. And until such time, we wish you all the best and enjoy listening and keep supporting us, and talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.